With how long Call of Duty has been around, there have been features come and go, but there have been features that fans absolutely loved, they adored, and then they never came back. They were deleted from COD history. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today we are going to go over 20 of the deleted features that fans absolutely loved and wanted to stay in the franchise, but the developers took them away for whatever reason. Some we don't know. So let me know what deleted feature that you loved and you would like to come back in COD history. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed. Let's set a like goal in honor of the first face cam intro in the COD history series at 1,154 likes in the first 24 hours. If you guys like the face cam intros, let me know and we'll keep them going. Starting off at number 20 is Pro Perks. They've only appeared a few times in the Xbox 360 era of COD, but they were a huge hit every time, at least in my opinion. Basically, by using a certain perk for a long enough time and completing certain challenges, you would unlock a buff version of it, and it would make your character even more of a boss. For example, in Classic Modern Warfare 2, Sleight of Hand would make you reload faster. Sleight of Hand Pro would make you reload and aim down sights faster. Commando would increase your melee damage range, but Commando Pro would increase your melee damage range and delete your fall damage. Every perk in the game had a Pro variant, and the Pro perk system showed up in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, and Ghost, but it hasn't been back since. I really don't understand why. With how much COD loves to make you grind for random things, I'm kind of shocked the developers haven't jumped on the Pro perk grind for modern games, but I guess maybe they just don't want that kind of mechanic in the game anymore? I don't know. At number 19, the P10 System. Now, this was the go-to customization mechanic in Call of Duty for the longest, but it's been years since it's been part of the experience. It was introduced in Black Ops 2, some would say perfected in Black Ops 2, and it was pretty radical when we saw it. Instead of picking primary, secondary, all that good stuff, equipment, perks, you just had 10 slots. Pick whatever you wanted, meaning you could sacrifice parts of your class in order to beef up other parts. The P10 system returned in almost every COD game after Black Ops 2, but Modern Warfare, the reboot, it deleted it in favor of the Gunsmith. We've never seen it again. I personally would love to get it back, but since COD is all in on the Gunsmith, and the Gunsmith literally can't exist within the P10 system, we're probably never getting this one back. At number 18, Streak Customization. In Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, there were ways to get extra customization out of your score streaks. I don't understand why this wasn't explored more in future games. You could make your streak cheaper in return for making it slightly weaker. You could make it more expensive and give it a buff. You could do things like make your UAV cheaper to earn, but with a shorter duration. Or you could make your air support more expensive in return for giving it more health or making its AI more aggressive. This system, it was received well in both AW and IW, so I don't understand why it wasn't expanded upon in future games. But here we are in 2025. Nobody even talks about streak customization anymore, so it's probably never coming back. At number 17, Modern Warfare 3 Some. Who remembers this? It only appeared in Classic Modern Warfare 3, but it was a pretty cool piece of the community engagement that I'm shocked wasn't a staple. How it worked was, you would go to the Call of Duty Facebook page. You would participate in a poll to vote on your favorite map and game mode. Then, the Modern Warfare 3 Some playlist would have 3 highest voted maps and 3 highest voted modes. Now, I don't really know why community-driven playlists like this weren't a staple of the series, because it truly kept people engaged with the game. It did good things for making you feel like you were actually part of the game's success. At number 16, hand gestures. Infinite Warfare was one of the most hated games in the entire franchise, but one thing that everybody seemed to agree on was hand gestures were cool. You could pull them out of supply drops, you could equip them to your character, you could use them to taunt people on the battlefield, and there were some really good ones. Mic drops, rock on fingers. There was even a whole game mode called Gesture Warfare where all of your guns were replaced with random hand gestures. It was cool, they had superpowers attached to them. Hand gestures never returned after Infinite Warfare, and I don't know why. They were a fun little part of the game, and I guess I imagine Activision could make bank off selling them now, but they don't. Missed opportunity. Just more cartoon camos. At number 15, Face Off, the OG Modern Warfare 3 version. Face Off playlist is something totally different now. Back in the golden age, it was a playlist dedicated to getting intense matches for smaller parties of players looking to take things seriously, and there were maps specifically designed for that. You could jump into matches of 2v2, 3v3, and they were all smaller maps. You could play Search and Destroy, Dom, TDM, Kill Confirmed. You could get a buddy or two and crush the Face Off playlist. It was fun. And then it disappeared after Classic Modern Warfare 3. Then it was brought back as something totally different in Black Ops 6. I think Classic Face Off needs to come back. New Face Off is kind of chaotic. I mean, Classic Face Off was much more strategic, and much more high stakes. And number 14, weapon prestige. Raise your hand if you remember when you could prestige your gun for extra cosmetic rewards. You could grind a weapon to max ranks, you could reset it back to level 1, you could do the attachment grind again, but now with an extra piece of customization. Maybe a clan tag etched into your gun or a sticker with your custom emblem. Again, how much modern COD games love making you grind. I'm kind of shocked this one never came back. At number 13, Team Tactical. It was a playlist that showed up throughout COD history, but it's been absent for a while now. Basically a more accessible version of the face-off playlist. It would have a variety of game modes for smaller team sizes. The intention here was to get more serious players working together and strategizing, while the more casual players, they stuck to core matchmaking, and it did a good job of providing a more high-stakes environment for COD without going so far as adding a ranking system. And I know some people prefer an actual ranking system for situations like this, but I think, honestly, Team Tactical provided a really fun middle ground between pubs and ranked. With the matchmaking system being how it is now, Team Tactical is probably never returning. It's honestly a shame because I know a lot of people that used to exclusively play in this playlist. At number 12, face paint. Do you remember in Black Ops 1 where you had a whole tab in the customization menu for your different face paints? I don't understand why we stopped. It was an awesome way for you to add some personality to your character and make him feel like your own personal soldier regardless of what uniform the game put on him. Face paint was never really a core feature of the game, but it should have been. I mean, I don't think anybody disliked having it as an option. And then it goes to, we just don't really get to customize our characters. At number 11, the support strike package. I, to this day, don't understand why this isn't a staple. I know people get annoyed at lethal streaks being in the support package, but come on, that's an easy fix for future games. The support package would change your kill streak so they didn't reset upon death, but they were more expensive and ideally non-lethal, so you could get things like UAVs, ballistic vests, SAM turrets, all that. Now, support streaks were introduced in Classic Modern Warfare 3, and then they were brought back in Ghost, but they never returned after that, and I don't understand why. They were a good way for less skilled players to feel like they were contributing to the team. Since we're on the topic, at number 10, multiple strike packages. Why aren't multiple strike packages a thing? I mean, yes, we get the option for specialists, but that's the only alternative. Why isn't there this every year? The majority of COD games have one set of kill streaks for you to pick from. Back in the Golden Age, we would get multiple strike packages. One for Assault, Classic Streaks, one for Support, we just talked about, and one for Specialist, which gave you the bonus perks instead of streaks. Now, we're lucky if we get a Specialist or anything, but we're lucky if we get a proper multiple... We're lucky if we get anything. Come on. We haven't had a proper multiple strike package since Ghost. I mean, who did it hurt in the game? It didn't. At number 9, Weekend Warfare. I don't really know why this hasn't turned into a staple either. Weekend Warfare was a special playlist in Modern Warfare Remastered that would offer up a certain game mode from Friday morning until Monday morning of each week. It's usually paired with double XP. Sometimes Weekend Warfare would just be double XP game modes like Dom. It was fun. I mean, you had limited time modes, prop hunt, slasher, snipers only, RPGs, all kinds of cool stuff. Some of the more popular Weekend Warfare modes were eventually added as core game modes, while others remained a special bonus you needed to keep an eye out for. I think it was a great way to keep the community engaged with the game throughout the year, but for some reason, it never caught on. At number 8, Days of Summer. Honestly, a bummer. I mean that it's gone. Days of Summer debuted in the summer of 2017 once again for Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare 2. It's basically a month and a half of bonus modes, free cosmetics, free maps, skins, all that. Days of Summer returned in the summer of 2018. It was for COD World War II, so you had Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, and then I think Black Ops 3. And there were some unique appeals to each game's version of the event. From that point on, though, it lost its appeal. The 2019 version in Black Ops 4 was basically just a bunch of paid cosmetics, and then the event, it never returned. I mean, what started off as an awesome piece of community engagement with a lot of free stuff quickly turned into a lame excuse to sell overpriced cosmetics, and now it's gone. At number 7, Headquarters. I'm talking about COD World War II's Headquarters. I know I wasn't a huge fan of the system because it was really buggy and it soured my initial experience, but man, now that I look back, it was cool. A social hub for all players to hop in and have some fun, goof around between matches while also doing things like the firing range, cool skins they could show off, hunt for Easter eggs. You could even get into some interesting 1v1 lobbies. Headquarters never returned after COD World War II, likely due to all the technical issues it had, but many players, now they look back fondly on it and wish they could give it another try. At number 6. Such a simple one. Player counts. They're never coming back, but they used to be helpful. Back in the golden age of COD, we used to have exact player counts for every single game mode, and we could also see how many people were online at any given time on every available platform. Fortunately, Activision started pulling the plug on live player counts following COD Ghost, and it's believed that because Ghost actually had lower player counts in Black Ops 2, that Activision didn't want the information to be available to people, which is why they not only removed player counts from future games, they also went back into the golden age COD games and broke their player counts, which is why if you log into Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 3 on the 360, they either say 0 or something ridiculous like 300,000. Player counts were a fun little piece of community engagement. They were a nice little tool for us to see which game modes were populated, I guess. Unfortunately, this one's not coming back. Now we arrive at the top 5. Classic Spec Ops. I have no idea what modern Spec Ops is supposed to be doing, but it's nowhere near the level of quality as classic. Do you guys remember in OG Modern Warfare 2 and 3 when Spec Ops was a bunch of fast-paced arcade-style missions you could do yourself, or you and a buddy could try to beat the par time or the top of the leaderboard with your score? Now, Spec Ops is some weird extension of the campaign. Grindy gameplay, lame presentation. It's not cool, it's not fun, and nobody looks forward to it. I mean, we don't need it. Nobody wants it. People used to get legitimately excited for a new version of Spec Ops to come out. Now, nobody talks about it. This is probably the first time anybody's talked about it in a long time. I have no idea why they changed it, but they did. At number 4, wager matches. There is no way this is ever coming back, but I wish it would. It only worked because back in the original Black Ops, you would earn in-game currency through gameplay. And then you would use that currency to unlock your in-game items, guns, camos, emblems, face paint, all that. But you also gamble your currency in the wager match playlist through game modes. You had gun game, one in the chamber, sharpshooter, sticks and stones. Before the match started, the lobby could even double down on the points. And then if you managed to place in the top 3, you would turn a profit. But if you placed lower, you lost it all. It was a good way to keep people engaged with the currency system of the game, while also keeping people engaged with the game as a whole, because you would constantly make these kind of rivalries with people after you took their COD points and they desperately wanted to win them back. Now, obviously, with all the controversies around gambling in video games, this is never coming back. And it's also ignoring the fact that COD doesn't really have an in-game currency system that isn't tied to real-world money, so yeah, it is what it is. Say goodbye forever to wager matches. Who remembers high roller wager matches? At number 3, another one that's not coming back, custom emblems. The original Black Ops let you make your own emblem, and you had some pretty insane options for expressing yourself and making something cool. Custom emblem meta returned in several COD games after that, but it was deleted from the franchise for 2 obvious reasons. First is that Activision would much rather sell you emblems and store bundles. Second is that a lot of people were using Custom Emblem Maker to make some really inappropriate things that were getting displayed in every multiplayer match they joined, which Activision, they didn't like having to moderate that. Since we're on the topic of things Activision got tired of moderating, at number 2, paint jobs. You guys remember those? You can make some really cool custom gun camos with the paint job mechanic similar to the custom emblems. But, just like the custom emblems, Activision got rid of the feature for 2 reasons. Store bundles and trolls. Yep, you can make your own cool camos. Why would you spend money on store bundles? What's stopping people from putting slurs, swear words, or anything on their guns? I mean, paint jobs, they had to go. Man, it was cool. And at number 1, connection-based matchmaking. Come on, it's a no-brainer. Why is connection not the most important aspect of the game? Why do we have to fight with skill-based matchmaking to get a decent experience? Back in the day, connection truly was king. It led to much more interesting matches since you never knew who you were going up against, but you did know you would generally have a good experience since your ping would be low and you would rarely run into people skipping around the map or shooting you around corners. Yes, it still happened from time to time. Nowhere near as common as it is now because the average ping was so much lower back in the golden age. With how much negative feedback Activision has gotten regarding the current matchmaking system, I'm shocked they haven't toned down the skill-based matchmaking, but that's just the world we live in today, and I guess we have to cope with it. Let me know one deleted feature I didn't mention. See you guys soon.